Are you concerned about falling? In the next year, 1 in 4 seniors will experience a fall. Do not allow yourself to become a statistic. Tai Chi is proven to reduce your fall risk by 58%. Classes for all abilities are available throughout DuPage County. Tai Chi, exercise for life, exercise for you.
Good morning, everybody, and gently tap just below your collarbone. And wake those kidneys up. Middle of sternum. Side of the ribs. Swing your arms loose and relax. And today we are going to work on the exercises that most of you will recognize or know as the horse form. The more correct name for this is the Qigong, and it is a bit of an expansion on the 4 basic movements that we did 2 weeks ago, and it includes some other aspects of movement in it. And so today we're going to go through each individual movement and talk about each individual movement. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we will put them together as the horse form, or the other name that I've given it is Qigong. So that's my plan for today. And tomorrow and Thursday. Yesterday's class is up on YouTube and on the playlist, so you can see that. And today, tomorrow, and Thursday, I will get up on the playlist on Thursday. So when we do these Qigong movements, there is no specific order that these come in. You can do them in any order you like. And when we do the Qigong, the same thing applies. This is no specific order. It just happens to be the order that I like to do them in. And so the good thing is, if you miss something out, or if you get them in the wrong order, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And the same thing goes with the number of repetitions. There is no specific, no set number of repetitions that you do when you do them as individual movements, or when you do them all together in that complete form. So that's one of the nice things about it, is that you can let go of that mental aspect of keeping track of the number of repetitions or keeping track of the order that you do them in. So you can just get started. I mean, we usually do the opening movement at the beginning and the closing movement at the end. But really between those two is do what you remember. So if you're doing the opening movement and one of the other ones pops into your mind, do that one next and just do it like that. And allow some natural movement to come into your body and into your mind. Because the more that you learn these exercises, the more your body will request them. And so when you're doing something like this and another exercise pops into your mind, that is usually your subconscious trying to tell you something. Quite possibly trying to tell you that that's the exercise that you need to do. So a little spontaneity can be a very good thing in the appropriate places. And along with that natural movement and that spontaneity, you may well find that as you do these movements, you'll find that you maybe get a little backwards and forwards swaying, which is fine as long as you're not leaning. You may get a little turning going on, and you may get the bending and the straightening of the legs going on. And again, allow your body to do what comes naturally to it. If any of those things happen, it's good. If they don't happen, it's good. It's the way that your body wants and needs to move. So this is definitely a set of exercises that you really don't want to overthink. However, that doesn't mean that you can let go of the techniques that we use and the skills that we use to execute those techniques. Right. And allow your arms to come to a rest. Turn your waist, let your arms swing on that. Again, loose and relax. And yesterday, we did the movements in the order that I enjoy doing them. We're not going to do that today. We're going to mix them up a little bit because I want to spend a little bit more time on some of the latter movements. That we didn't quite cover completely yesterday. So going back and watching yesterday's video would be a good idea, depending how well I do today. All right, now bring your hands in small of the back on the opposite side, inside the shoulder on the front. And take the hands out and return to just the waist. And bring your waist to a rest. Take your head to one shoulder, roll it down around to the shoulder without tilting back across the top. Exhale around. Inhale across. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Change direction. Head to the shoulder, roll it down around to the shoulder without tilting it back across the top. Exhale around. Inhale across. Exhale. Inhale. One. And bend your knees. Let your arms hang down. Roll your change direction. One. Straighten up. Rub your hands. Rest. Forearms. Elbows. Interlace your fingers. Roll your wrists around. And change direction. And push one wrist up and then the other. Nod. Palms. Smooth your back. Head still, head upright. Circle your waist. One more. Change direction. One more. And then if you choose, bring your feet closer together and circle your tower. One more. Change direction. One more. Bring your feet as close together as you're safe and comfortable. Rub those palms again. Knees. Pat. Rest your hands above your knees. Bend and straight. One more. Good. Straighten up. And take one foot. Tap the ball. Change feet. So bring yourself to the natural stance. This is where most of these movements begin. So feet shoulder width apart, toes straight forwards, back up straight, head up tall, chin tucked in, knees a little soft so there's movement in the knee. Arms relaxed at your sides. Little space underneath the armpits, so rotate the arms so that the palms face back. That will create that space. Your fingers are relaxed. And so let's start with the introductory movement, the movement that begins so many sequences. So our hands float up to the height of our shoulders. Our hands sink down. Inhale as your hands float up. Exhale as your hands sink down. Inhale. Exhale. Now try and go at your own pace. And remember that we use our mind to guide our breath, and our breath guides our movement. So your mind makes the decision as to how fast or how slow you breathe. It makes a decision about where that breath is going, how deep into your abdomen it goes. Your mind determines how quiet or how noisy your breath is. And it determines how relaxed it is. And most of us will focus on the speed of the breath, how long it takes you to inhale, how long it takes you to exhale. And so as our mind determines the pace of our breath, the pace of our breath determines the pace of our movement. So your mind guides your breath, and your breath guides your movement. And today we can do this because there are no set number of repetitions. So if you do more than me, that's good. If you do less than me, that's good. And however many we've done, we're going to do one more. So the introductory movement is there for the most part in most sequences. It's one of the basic up and downs. It is there to regulate the flow of your qi and the flow of your blood. So that means if you've been active to get to where you are, it's going to slow that down. It's going to slow the qi flow down. It's going to slow the blood flow down. It's going to slow your heart rate down. If you've been passive to get to where you are, it's going to raise them. It's going to raise the flow of your qi. It's going to raise the flow of your blood, and it's going to raise your heart rate so that it brings you into that balanced spot, which is going to be the ideal for the exercises to come. Now, it also gives you an opportunity to calm and relax your mind, to bring your mind into the right place for the exercises to come. So the next one I want to do is also one of the basic movements. And we're actually going to do 3 of the basic movements to begin with. And we're going to do next in and out. And so when we do the in and out, as your arms come back, you want your shoulder blades to move closer to your spine. So it's not just your arms coming in and out, it's your shoulder blades moving. So if you think these are my shoulder blades with the spine running down the center, as I pull my arms back, I pull my arms back by gently moving my shoulder blades towards my spine. As my hands go out, they go out because I move my shoulder blades away from the spine. This is a very gentle, subtle movement. It's partly there to start to teach you to move your shoulder blades, which is a really important thing to do when it comes to moving your arms. And when it comes to walking, moving your arms helps you walk. And so having movement in your shoulder blades actually helps your walking. So, in and out, or push the mountain. So your hands float up to the height of your shoulders. Now gently bring those shoulder blades together. This isn't a squeeze like we do in some of the exercises like rowing a boat. Push the hands out. You just want to feel some movement there. As your shoulder blades come towards the spine, as they move away from the spine. Inhale as your hands come in. Exhale as they press out. Inhale. Exhale. And again, with all of these, go at your own pace. Use this as practice to regulate your breath and to regulate your movement. One more. And sink the hands down. So next we move on to open and closing. So open and closing is one step up from in and out as regards to the shoulder blades. In this one, there is this definite movement of the shoulder blades towards the spine, and that's the movement that creates the opening. It's not your arms moving without your shoulders, it's your shoulders moving back, opening your arms up. And so we're opening up the acupuncture points, lung 1, lung 2 in the chest. We're opening up the upper chest, all to help our breathing. This helps the energy flow down the arm to the thumb. Okay, so let's do open and close, or as I first learned this, Phoenix spreads its wings. Very powerful exercise, very prescriptive for the lungs. So your hands float up to the height of your shoulders, keeping the shoulders down, palms face each other. Now gently bring those shoulder blades towards the spine to open the arms up and close. Inhale as your arms open. Exhale as your arms close. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And bring your hands down. So far I've been going in the order that I enjoy to do them in when we do the Qigong or the horse form. But I want to skip ahead now. I want to move on to spreading your wings, because spreading your wings brings in a different aspect of the way that we basically move. And we have something that we want to work on called the 6 harmonies. And we want to work on the first 3. Those are the physical ones. The second 3 are more energetic, more spiritual ones. And so the first of the 3 harmonies is that your shoulders and your hips always move together. So I say very often that your shoulders always stay directly above your hips. And for the most part, unless you're very deliberately changing that, it's true. You don't want to have any leaning going on. Okay? Now, if you're bending down, that's different. So shoulders always stay directly above the hips. This is one of the things about keeping your posture, keeping your back upright. The second of the harmonies is that your elbows and your knees move together. And the third is that your hands and your feet move together. Now, those are a little bit more subtle. Those are a little bit more difficult to work on and to detect. The most important one for most of us is the shoulders and the hips, of keeping the shoulders directly above the hips. And so in spreading your wings, we have Phoenix spreads its wings with backwards and forwards movement. And so when we come to this, we're going to move our way to the right foot. We're going to step out with the left. Now, when you step out, you want to make sure that you have space, like railroad tracks running between your feet. And so if you were to slide your front foot back along those railroad tracks, it would miss your back foot by about 3 or 4 inches. Okay, so if I face you and I have my back foot out to the corner and my front foot forwards, you should see that I have this space between my feet. This gives us a lot of stability. Without that, you don't have stability. And this is a very important aspect of fall prevention and keeping and maintaining your balance, is to have this wide base to stand on rather than a narrow base. Okay? So if you feel at all unsteady, one thing to do is to look at your front foot and move it out a bit to make your base wider. Okay? But we don't want to go too far. Okay? So if I'm stepping out with my left foot, I check inside of my left foot, I run parallel with it, and it misses my back heel by about 4 inches. And so as I do this, depending on my balance, I may choose to keep my feet flat on the floor and just shift my weight backwards and forwards, keeping my knees bent, keeping my back up straight, my head up tall, my eyes up, keeping my shoulders directly above my hips. And so if you think about your center, you move your center back, you move your center forward, rather than trying to move your shoulders. So we're bringing the movement from the shoulders down to our center. If your balance is comfortable, you can choose as you come back to pick up your toes, as you go forward to pick up your heel. Good. So with the weight back, open your arms out to the sides, keep the shoulders down, gently bringing those shoulder blades together, shift forward and close. Shift back and over. Exhale as you shift forward. Inhale as you shift back. Exhale. Inhale. And one more. Good. And bring your hands down your way. Now change feet. And it really doesn't matter which side you start with. Traditionally, the left side is very typical to start with. So stepping out with the other foot, again, check your railroad tracks. Put a line on the inside of your front foot, slide it back, and like railroad tracks, and make sure that it does not touch your back foot. So putting 2 lines of masking tape down on the floor can be a really good idea, and it will help you to get that perspective. Okay, so weight shifted back, arms out to the side, weight sunk down, but the back's up straight. Shift forward and close. Shift back and over. Exhale as we go forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So keeping the weight sunk down, concentrating on your center being pulled back Your center being pushed forward. And bring your weight back. Okay. Now keep that foot forward. The next one I want to touch on is grinding corn. Now grinding corn can be done with the hands at center level, or it can be done at shoulder level. I prefer center level because it gives you more perspective about how you're moving your center. People, if they do it shoulder height, tend to move from the shoulders. People do it at center height, tend to move from the center. Now we're going to have that same backwards and forward shifting, but now we're going to add into this the aspect of turning. And our guideline is that our belly button points in the same direction as whichever foot has most weight. So when your weight is back, your belly button points with your back foot. When your weight is forward, it points with your forward foot. And in this one, your feet stay firmly on the floor. That's important. And so as you shift from one to the other, you also turn from one to the other. Okay, so we've had a lateral shifting of the weight. Now we have a lateral and a turning. Is lateral the right word? I don't know. Okay, and so your hands, when your weight is back, your belly button is turned with your back foot, your hands are palm down in front of you. Now, most of the movement with the hands is in and out, not circles. You're going to have a little bit of sideways movement, but most of the sideways movement comes from turning your belly button. And so your hands are an indicator of how well you turn your center. Okay? So, as you shift your weight forward, your hands circle out and around. As you shift back, they pull in. Again, we exhale as we go forward. Inhale as we come back. Exhale. Inhale. And with all the circles, we know we need to go both directions. So stop at the back and change directions. So bring the hands across. Now they go out as you shift and turn back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale. So think about your center moving and just allowing your shoulders to follow what your center does. Good. Now bring all your weight to the back foot. Bring the front foot in and we'll change sides. So again, make sure you have your railroad tracks between your feet. And it really doesn't matter which direction you go first. So with the weight on the back foot, the hands in front of the belly button, shift forward, reach out, shift back and exhale as we go forward. Inhale as we pull back. Exhale. In. Again, concentrating on moving your center. Your hands move because your center moves. Your shoulders move because your center moves. And in fact, your legs move because your center moves. So you pull your center back, that means your legs have to change. Good. Stop at the back hip and change direction. So pull the hands across, shift forward, reach out, shift and turn back. Exhale as we go forward. Inhale as we come back. Exhale. Inhale. One. Good. Grinding corn is a really, really good exercise for fall prevention. Even though we're not walking, we're not standing on one leg, this idea of teaching you and practicing to move from your center is really important. Okay? It's very tempting when you do this to like lean forward and try and make the circles as big as you can, or like there's no turning of the belly button, it's all just hands. Okay, so we want to concentrate on what happens here in our center and everything just flowing around. Okay. The next one I want to touch on is circles. And for some reason, we don't have the circles standing in place. We have this vertical circle with the feet out. So we're going to stick with the foot out, weights back, feet stay firmly on the floor, belly button stays pointing straight forwards with the front foot, and you're going to reach down and up as far as you're safe and comfortable. Always remembering that smooth and relaxed is better than big. Right, so palms face forwards, fingertips down by your waist. As you shift forwards and bend down, you're going to reach your hands down your leg. You're going to circle up. As you come back, fingertip to fingertip, bring your hands down. At the waist, turn the hands forwards, fingertips down, reach down. Inhale as we circle up. Exhale as we come down. Inhale. Exhale. And when we reach the waist, we're going to change direction. Fingertip to fingertip, bring the hands palm up. As they come over the head, they're going to rotate forwards. You're going to shift forwards and go reach down as far as you're safe and comfortable. Fingertip to fingertip, inhale as your hands come up. Exhale as your hands go. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Good. And as you bring your hands to the waist, bring the foot in and change side. Now this is direction specific. We do going down and up first. Good. So we shift forward, reach the hands down, circle up. Fingertip to fingertip again, come down. Palms forward, fingers down, reach down. Inhale as we circle up. Exhale as we come down. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. And bring your hands down. Change direction, fingertip to fingertip. Bring the hands up. Rotate palms forwards. Reach down. Inhale as we come up. Exhale as we come down. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Yeah. And bring yourself back to that natural stance with the feet shoulder width apart. And so those three movements do go up in technique. Spreading your wings, you got this just simple backwards and forward shifting of the weight. The second one of grinding corn, you add in the turning. And then the third one, you add in this other balance aspect of taking deliberately the shoulders off the hips as far as your posture goes, but they still move together. Okay, so those three do build in sequence. So I do tend to do them in that sequence. Now I want to go back to the shoulder blades. And in the natural stance, we finished the last one with Phoenix spreads its wings, this open and closing. Pressing the pillars or in and out to the sides, again, takes that aspect of the shoulder blades, and now you've got this definite squeeze of the shoulder blades going on to bring the hands in. So with the hands at the sides, our hands float up to the heights of the shoulders. Now squeeze your shoulder blades to pull your hands in, opening up the chest. Press out with the shoulder blades away from the spine. Inhale as the hands come in. Exhale, press out. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And sink the hands down. So again, the sequence that I do them when I do the Qigong or the horse form of the in and out open and close, in and out, takes you using your shoulder blades from subtle to more gross to gross. So you have a very gentle movement, you have a more intense movement, then you have a very intense movement. So doing them in that sequence does build your skill level as you go through the movement. And so you want this movement in your shoulders. So those of you that know rowing a boat and Feudal Lord draws his bow, both of them really good for the shoulders, both of them really good for your posture to help to reduce your risk of this happening as you grow older. The next one is a very relaxed one, and flying like a goose, flying like a bird, something like that. Hands relaxed at your sides, and your hands float up to the height of your shoulders, and your hands sink down. Now, if you want to put a little bit of flair in there like that, you can do. The important thing is that you want this effortless feeling of like a bird flying across a beautiful, clear blue sky. One more. So in this sequence, we just go to the height of the shoulders. In Shibashi, you can go all the way up over the head. That's really your choice as to what you're comfortable with. Okay? So the next two movements are very similar, and they really go together because one is the reverse of the other one. And again, it really doesn't matter which order that you do these in. And so we're going to do these together. And so this is where we bring the hands all the way over the head. And so for this, we're going to start to the front. So our hands come up the front as high as you're safe and comfortable, keeping those shoulders down. Turn the palms out. And bring your hands all the way down. Inhale as your hands come up. Exhale as your hands come down. Inhale. Exhale. Both of these exercises, very good for your heart. Your heart channel runs from your armpit down your arm to your small finger. And so this opens up your heart channel, allowing your energy to flow. One more. And change direction. So our hands come up the sides, backs of the hands come together, palms face forward, and bring your hands down. Inhale as your arms come up. Exhale as your arms come down. Inhale. Exhale. So this also stimulates the energy in your small intestine, partner organ to the heart. And the energy of that runs from your pinky finger to your head, So again, a big stimulation, heart and small intestine. One more. Now the next one is one that I will sometimes miss out of the horse form because there's a little bit of an oddity in there. This is the pressing your palms, and this is where you're bringing your shoulders up towards your ears as much as you can and then pulling them down. And so this is using tension to release tension. So we put tension on something and then we teach it where it needs to be. When you do this, your hands come up and you want to try and pull your hands up towards your armpit so that you push down with your hands and you pull your shoulders down. Now, how high your hands come up is unimportant. Mine, generally, I only come to about waist, about belt level. That, having my hands beneath my shoulders, is better than here, because then you don't get this direct pull of the shoulders down, you get this pull out and down. So it's not quite as effective. So again, technique. So pull your shoulders up towards your ears, bring your hands up, and then press your hands down and pull your shoulders down. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, push down. Inhale. Exhale. One more. So as I say, sometimes I'll miss that out because of the tension. Sometimes I want to stay as relaxed as I can. And of course, we now finish with another up and down in the closing movements where we're gathering and storing our chi. So we bring our hands fingertip to fingertip up to the height, the chin, the mouth, the nose, somewhere around there, palms down, and we press down. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, press down. Inhale. Exhale. So draw fresh chi, fresh air into your body, and then press it down to your center to store it. And one more. And bring your hands all the way down to your side.